Thank you, Andrew. Give some to Mr. Johnson.
I love your parties, Max.
Oh, very nice to you. Have another glass.
And I love champagne.
See you later.
David is going to become a doctor as well?
Well, we hope so.
How old is he now?
He's 20 now.
20?
Yes,
What does he... Max!
How nice of you to come. Look, I must see you right away.
I'm very busy. How soon?
Tomorrow.
I make some time tomorrow afternoon. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, Max! Come on! It's nearly time for them! Come on!
Look, what do you want that thing on for?
I want to watch them! Come on!
Every time you take her to a restaurant, she asks if there's a set on the menu.
Why is she getting so excited? I didn't know there was anything new on this week, did you?
Max, what is this program?
You're in for a treat. You're on the right channel, darling. Now watch this, Philip. You're in for a treat.
It's them!
Oh, it's them.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are now listening to station FRN, Polestar, the free radio network.
Once again, we bring you the news behind the news. Tonight, we begin with a question. Does Lord Brereton know his latest discovery is only 13? Oh, well, maybe he's not superstitious. But does Lady Brereton know?
Lady Brereton?
Now, an item of news not included in today's papers. What did a certain eminent industrialist and philanthropist of renown find in his mail recently? Yes, the Lord Chamberlain has written to jovial, self-made, do-gooding Max Levinson, offering that long-awaited knighthood. We all know Max, the kiddie's friend, the founder of the Max Levinson Pediatric Clinics and the Levinson Children's Trust. But how many people know the inside story? How will a grateful nation react when it learns that the benevolent Max was responsible for the deaths of some 50,000 children in famine-stricken India last month?
Turn it off.
It's not baubles, bangles, and beads, Max. You're not in Petticoat Lane now.
Turn it off!
This is all very mysterious, Mr. Levinson.
Be careful after last night. I don't have to tell you that. You're Secret Service, aren't you?
Just a Whitehall bureaucrat.
No, it's all right. I've got to be at London Airport myself in an hour, having lunch in Zurich. So I could drop you off anywhere you like in central London in the next half hour.
If you're going to Heathrow, perhaps you could take me to Hammersmith.
Sure.
Well, now,
Now,
what
look,
can I...
No moody, sonny. Old Henry the Minister told me you're the boy.
The boy?
Well, you know, the top security wizard. Now, when are you going to get this pirate radio station off my back and behind bars?
Well...
Now, look, I want it done, quick.
Well, it all depends.
Depends.
In your case, Mr. Levinson, it depends whether the allegations are true.
True or false, what the hell? Now, listen, when hustlers like me are in trouble, the country's in trouble. Now, you know that, don't you? I don't have to tell you that. Anyway, don't give me the old school-type crap. Listen, I set up that shipbuilding deal last year. Do you know what he did for our balance of payments position?
Yes.
You do? You do? Oh, that's all right, then. Yeah.
And what of the lovely Juanita Wayne? Now she's made her first feature, she can forget skin flicks. But what about the little drug problem and that inconvenient husband? Polestar, the free radio network, will keep you up to date.
Well, what's it got to do with us? It's just a gang of kids fooling around.
I got news for you. When that stuff's been checked, it's been found to be totally accurate. Strand's coming round for a chat. Even money will be baying for blood.
The big boys are getting worried, are they?
Yeah, somebody up there's very scared. So now they call us in it.
I'm glad to see you're doing your homework, gentlemen. So far, the public reaction has been mainly one of amusement, like yours, Mr. Haggerty. But if these allegations were to be taken seriously, this group could destroy almost anyone, supposing they were to attack a cabinet minister, for example.
Is that their ultimate objective?
That's for you to find out, Mr. Craven. This file contains the names of the people attacked so far, and a list of the allegations made against them. Good morning, Sergeant. Let me know of your progress.
What do you think of that?
That's quite a cast. Where do we start, sir?
Hey, let's start by checking the fringe groups, anarchist clubs and underground magazines, that sort of thing.
Right.
Find out if any of them have access to radio equipment, or if there's anyone with that sort of technical knowledge.
Well, they're not likely to have the money for this kind of operation.
Well, they may be getting backing from outside.
Oh, and Sergeant,
Yes, sir.
take care.
I always do. You ought to know that.
Well, she still hasn't written. What's the form now, then?
What do you know about telecommunications?
Well, I took the course. I can't remember much about it, eh?
Yeah, me neither. Oh, somebody will have to take the technical side. I'll do that. You go round to these people on the list. Know your style. Very up crust.
Hello.
So indecent with clothes on. Now, what did you want to see me about?
Anybody got a time for Waterloo? Over.
And this evening on Thames Television, we have the news at 6:05.
Whiskey Tango 3, RTA Junction of Portobello.
Telly, taxis, police, all on the same narrow wave band. It's easy enough for these boys to horn in.
Well, don't they need a powerful transmitter?
Well, relatively powerful, but all they really need is a transmitter tuned to the right frequency and powerful enough to blot out the sound and inject its own.
Where do they get the power?
Stick a plug in the main, same as you do at home, or take it off a battery. This is a transmitter. You can buy it in a basic kit almost anywhere. It's not difficult for somebody who knows what he's doing.
And that's all it is?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be difficult to hide.
No problem at all. Unfortunately for us.
I understand you're an attractive woman and you wanted to get on. You didn't let your private life get in the way of your professional ambitions.
I'm sorry.
All that information, Miss Wayne, was private and personal. Not many people would have known about it, but someone has been passing it around.
You'll make a lot of enemies on the way up.
Yeah, I'm quite aware of that. All I want you to do is to give me some kind of lead, and then we might be able to find out who's behind all this.
And have it all come out in court, oh no.
There's no reason why it should go that far.
Some publicity you can ride, it even helps you. But whoever those bastards are, they can really stick a knife in. No thanks, Mr. Haggerty.
Post office vans looking for license dodgers use the same system. Their equipment picks up radiations from local oscillators and home tellies. Of course, they have to be quite close.
But these have a wider range?
Oh, much. It's linked to a very sensitive receiver, calibrated to... I'll show you.
It's about the allegation.
What allegations?
Is there any basis of truth in them?
Watch it, Sonny.
Chief Inspector.
These people, they attack me for what I am. My word, that's my capital. That's what took me from an East End stool to buy my own private bank and more subsidiary companies than you can count. I mean, what do they want? Why do they want to bring me down?
That's rather what I was hoping you might be able to tell me.
These people, they destroy innocent people's lives. They poison the minds of other people. Now, why can't you stop them?
We want leads, Mr. Levinson. That's why I'm here.
So what do you think, eh? What do you think? I'm covering up for them? If I knew who they were, they wouldn't be talking. If I knew who they were, they wouldn't be walking.
keep on testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Not only gives us a single compass bearing, of course, but if another van also picks up the signal, where our vectors intersect gives us the exact position of the transmitter.
Yes, well, I appreciate that, but why haven't you got it before?
Well, it's not constant. The broadcasts are irregular, though always the same time. Very short duration, 4 or 5 minutes only, and the signal appears to shift position.
A mobile transmitter?
Apparently. The only constant factor is the transmissions all seem to come from North London.
Mobile transmitter. That's great. That's just great.
Well, communication was a problem. Once he got onto instantaneous oscillation, pulse code modulation, and coaxial systems, I cut off.
Makes about as much sense as the answers I've been getting.
Nobody talking?
No. They either really don't know or they're running scared. I reckon they're running scared. And the bigger they are, the more scared they are, like old Max Levinson.
Is there any connection between them?
No, none. Well, not that I can find, anyway.
Good evening, gentlemen.
What's all this, then?
Required reading. A transcript of all the broadcasts so far. And an analysis by Mr. Pugh of themes, speech patterns, and social attitude.
It's all I've had time to do as yet.
Mr. Pugh is an intelligence officer in my little empire. Chief Inspector Craven, Chief Inspector Hackett.
How do you do? Oh, here, please, yes.
Any progress?
Thank you.
No.
I don't reckon there will be any either, not unless we can get the victims to give us a bit more information.
Yes, you've been seeing them, haven't you? I doubt if that's going to be particularly productive.
Why not?
Prominent people, perhaps with something to hide, often become nervous, start chatting to their MPs about harassment and so forth. I'd like to think that we can avoid too much publicity in this inquiry.
What else is there to go on?
You'll find that these files contain a great deal of data that you'll need on the victims, as you call them. And I'm leaving you Mr. Pugh as a part of the team.
I'm to collect and collate all the background information as it's amassed.
You'll find him invaluable.
The only real chance we have is to locate this transmitter. And our detector vans have been looking for it for days with no success.
Do not despair. I rely on your doggedness, Craven. Keep digging. I'm sure you'll come up with a bone.
The southern end of the motorway has been shrouded in fog for several hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to Station FRN, Polestar, the free radio network.
Vector north by northeast, sir. Islington area.
Charlie, get moving.
Head for the Angel Islington. You too, DD4. Beam in on Islington.
We bring you the news behind the news. Last night, we offered Max Levinson a chance to come clean, to make some small amends for the harm he's done. He has not spoken. 3 months ago, a well-known charity had chartered a fleet of aircraft to carry vital protein to a famine-stricken province in India. Will Max Levinson deny that he overbid on the charter in order that the planes could fly surplus arms from Southeast Asia to a certain African state? A last-minute deal that brought Max £250,000. A year ago, this would not have happened. Even 6 months ago, no one would have believed
talking,
it.
darling.
Yet
We're getting
it
nearer.
happened.
This United Europe contest.
Signal's
Britain
gone.
will be represented by lovely June Brown from Andover.
Capitalist markets and the threat of bankruptcy drove him to this betrayal of all the ideals he stood for.
Reading's east. It's completely changed direction.
The next broadcast of Polestar on the free radio network.
We've lost it. We were right on target. What happened?
Must have detected us. They knew we were somewhere close and switched to another transmitter.
Another one?
Also mobile, I'm afraid. I couldn't
There's a
hold
call
the
from
signal.
Hammersmith, sir. Urgent message from Mr. Haggerty.
Hi, Alan. Well, they found Levinson in his own pool. Yeah, he's dead. It must have happened during the last broadcast. I wonder how much his shares are worth now.
We're obviously up against a resourceful opponent.
Well, next time we can narrow them down to a small area. We'll
Excuse me.
seal off the streets and do a house to house.
That's a major operation. We can't afford to be seen taking the matter so seriously. That's just what the pirates want.
Then we're stymied.
Surely it should be possible to mount a discreet search of the area.
There's a dozen officers out there already. Do you realize that a 1-degree variation in signal leaves us with a 5-mile square from Paddington to Kentish Town to cover?
Yes, I do realize that.
Well, what's the word on Levinson?
Suicide. It seems that Polestar's allegations were basically true. Levinson's been in financial difficulties for some time, promoted a number of dubious schemes to raise money. Only his reputation stopped his creditors from moving in.
Yeah, once that was destroyed, then so was his credit.
Exactly. The disturbing thing is that the collapse of his financial empire has resulted in an immediate lack of confidence in overseas markets.
As big as that?
Big enough to affect the balance of trade.
Do you reckon that's what these jokers were after?
I'm inclined to think it was more personal. After all, Levinson's only one of 18 people so far attacked.
19, and 3 oblique references.
Thank you, Mr. Pugh. 19 people so far attacked. It was always possible that accusations against one of them would lead to more serious consequences. Precisely what we were asked to prevent.
Then they should have called us in sooner.
Which at the moment is the only point in your favor.
Why is he so fond of you?
There's one thing. We couldn't follow up on Levinson while he was still alive.
Yeah?
Doesn't apply anymore.
What, you mean moving quickly before the front office can make any waves?
Right. What you got on Levinson, Mr. Pugh?
Oh, yes. Life history, Maxwell Levinson. I think it's all there, from his elementary teacher to his psychiatrist.
Psychiatrists were getting as bad as the Americans.
Please, come in, Chief Inspector. Now, what is it that I can do for you?
I understand Max Levinson was a patient of yours, Dr. Weston.
Mr. Weston is like a surgeon. Please, sit down.
Thank you.
Yes, Max Levinson was a patient of mine.
How well did you know him?
He had been coming to see me for over a year, as perhaps you know. You could say that I probably knew him better than anyone else.
Were you surprised when he committed suicide?
No.
Why not?
Like many successful men, Max Levinson, who had achieved his goal early in life, or relatively early, had begun to doubt his own motivation. He was of limited education, had very few internal resources. You could say that he was a prey to the stresses of his own success.
In what way?
He never understood what drove him on, the business flair with which he was credited.
Could he be afraid of losing it?
It came into it, certainly, yes.
Would you say he was the type that could be driven to commit suicide?
By external forces, no. But the possibility always existed there inside him. He suffered from a form of depression, occasional but acute.
What you might call guilt feeling?
No, not necessarily.
Did you ever discuss his financial affairs with him?
We discuss many things, Chief Inspector, but you will appreciate the professional ethics prevent me from discussing them any further with you, even though he is dead.
Well, you've been a great help already. Thank you for giving me your time.
Not at all.
Well, I've got nothing to report, except nothing.
Oh, well, that's going to sound good at the commissioners' meeting tomorrow. Another day wasted.
Well, at least you've been mingling with the mighty. I've been to so many tatty clubs and coffee bars, all I need is a bath and a disinfectant.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to mention that. Hello, Wacker. Taken any good pictures lately, Wacker?
No. I'm not in that line anymore, Mr.
So much
Haggerty.
competition from Denmark, eh?
I've given it all up, honest.
Oh, what's that, from Lent? Look, I only want to talk to you, Wacker. It's not a pinch. Don't get worried. I only want to talk to you.
I can't talk here, Mr. Haggerty.
I'm afraid some of your friends might see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you just tell me what I want to know, and then I'll let you go, right?
What?
What do you know about these pirate television stations?
Oh, well, that's got nothing to do with me. I mean, they're political people, aren't they?
Oh, the last time we had a conversation, seems to me you were very political. What were you trying to do? Set up your film shows for foreign visitors? I remember you had some very juicy things to say about one of our politicians, Wacker.
Yeah, but you couldn't nick me on it, could you? Seriously, though, Mr. Haggerty, I mean, there's been no contact, honest. I mean, these people, they're amateurs, see?
Yeah, they're amateurs, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just have to take you in on sus, won't I, Wacker?
No, wait a minute, please, Mr.
Oh, have you remembered something?
Yeah, well, it's nothing definite.
Have you got a light, Wacker?
A light? Yeah. It's not for certain, mind, just something. It might be nothing, really.
Right, time. Okay, go on.
Well, there's this fella, see, a bit of a writer. He wrote something for me once. It wasn't very good. I mean, it was far too literary. My customers didn't go on it.
Yeah, well, they've got very good taste, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name, Wacker?
Shannon. Irving Shannon. He used to be a freelance. He worked for the old Scandal mag, Piccadilly Intimate.
Yeah, what about him?
Well, he can't hold his beer, can he? Jug artist, that's his problem. He was in the Eagle a couple of weeks back, smashed out of his mind. Going on about how he was onto something really big, see? Anyway, he came over to me and he said that if I had any customers who were really well known and I cared to drop him the names, well, there'd be a tenner in it for me. Well, it sounded like the old blackmail racket to me, so naturally I wasn't interested, see?
Naturally.
It's not for sure, mind. Well, can I go now?
Yeah, you could go, Wacker. What'd you say his name was again?
Irving Shannon.
Irving Shannon.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wacker.
Hey, Mr. Haggerty. You've still got my lighter. Sod.
Most impressive, Mr. Pugh. The only problem is to check out all your suggestions would take the entire Metropolitan Police force 7 days a week for 6 months. Never mind, keep trying. Craven. Oh, hello. Yeah? What's his name? Shannon. A journalist? Yeah, I think we've got a file on him. And Stuart Barnes. With a bird. Okay, leave it with me.
Oh, there is one other thing. This pub is out near the canal. The Plough. It's just a thought, but, well, the Plough, the Bear, Adam's Wain, all pointing to the North Star. Have you got it? The Pole Star.
Yeah. Yeah, give it a whirl.
Half of it's a love.
Love? That's not bitter. I haven't seen you in here before.
No, I've not been around.
9p, love.
Don't.
You were thirsty?
Yeah, as I've said, I've not been around.
Sorry, darling.
That's all right.
Have you got any grub, Gladys?
Just crisps, love.
Ah, knit it.
That's a pity. I was hoping I might better get something myself.
There's some bangers or a pie if you want.
Yeah, so. What was it? Gladys, is it?
No, Maggie.
Oh.
Who are you?
Jack. Have you worked here long?
I run the place. Since my old man died. Excuse me.
Well, I'll take those, Mr. Pugh.
Oh, thank you.
Got anything on Shannon yet, sir?
Yeah, could be. His reputation's not too good. None of the responsible newspapers or magazines will use him. Got a chip on his shoulder. He also seems to have come into some money recently, and a left-wing conscience.
Mr. Haggerty thought he recognized one of the group as Stuart Barnes, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, there is a file on him, you know. He was questioned a couple of times about student riots, and he was mixed up in some union trouble, too, I think.
He was in the papers a lot a while back. I wonder what he's been up to since. Better run a check on him. What about the girl?
Unknown, sir. But Mr. Haggerty's still there.
Get off!
So straight up, he jumped out the ground floor window with nothing but his socks on with the rest of his clothes stuck underneath his arm. And he ran straight into a gang of people on the other side of the road coming out of the church. Give us another pint, will you, Maggie? Hang about, you better make that half.
Bit skint, are you, Jack? What are you working at?
Well, not a lot at the moment, you know.
Finding it hard to get a job. You're just out, aren't you? I can tell. Got anywhere to go?
Well, I did have a mate that said he'd put me up, but it didn't last long.
You can do better than that. Now, how to
Maggie, gin and tonic, please.
Lime juice.
Stew.
Large ale.
Well, this is Jack. He's going to help me around the place for a while, if he plays his cards right. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
DV3 to DV4. Are you there?
Standing by, sir. Nothing moving this end.
From Strasbourg at 11:15 for the new
Here it comes.
You are listening to Polestar, the free radio
It's not
network.
near here. It's south again.
South?
I'm moving.
Just remember, Caroline, man does not live by bed alone. But more seriously, shouldn't we be concerned at these goings-on at the Foreign Office? An adjustment of personnel, they call it. But it's really just one big cover-up for Sir Alan Rees Wishart, known to his friends as Popsy.
The directional fix is stable, sir. West by north.
A well-known supporter of boys' clubs, Sir Alan's little weakness was not suspected by his senior colleagues until a recent visit to Paris on a fact-finding mission. What French security told DI5 about him should have curled the minister's ears.
All units head for St. Pancras. Grid reference C4 by D9.
Positive fix holding. Just north of Euston Road.
And a final P.S. to the establishment lackeys of Special Branch. Good hunting, and don't get the needle.
What disturbs my department is how did Polestar know that you were involved?
One of the people we interviewed must be linked to the group.
I'd like to point out the seriousness of last night's broadcast. An expose of Sir Alan Rees Wishart.
You can always deny it.
Unfortunately, it was in essence true.
That's not my problem.
Sir Alan has resigned. It'll mean a screening of his entire section. Inevitably, there'll be a lowering of confidence in the government.
I'd like to arrange some more interviews.
As you did with Levinson's people?
At least I'd like to speak to Sir Alan.
I'm afraid not. My department has handled that side. You can have the report.
I don't think there's a side to this, Mr. Strand.
Of course not. But Sir Alan has had a difficult time. I don't want a man who knows many state secrets pushed too near the edge. He's vulnerable enough already.
Okay. Now, do you want to hear the good news?
They are, Guff. 19, please. Oh, Tom.
I'll do that, Jack.
What's up? Don't you trust me?
I trust you all right, love. I just don't believe in putting temptation in anyone's way.
Temptation?
You cheeky piggy. Hello, Joe. You all right? Yeah. 4, 6.
Congratulations, Mr. Craven. You've evidently made valuable progress. I know about Shannon. What about the others?
Anna Maslin and Stuart Barnes. Barnes studied electronics at Cambridge. Got sent down for leading a student riot. Got a job in ITV as a sound technician, eventually fired for unofficial union activity and making protests against programmed content. It was never proved. It looks as if he also went in for industrial sabotage. Some equipment was wrecked.
What about the gal?
25, studied sociology, worked for a time as a voluntary social worker. Then on the staff of an underground political magazine.
Certainly sounds likely.
By the way, Mr. Pugh found out how they pulled that gag last night.
Oh. Last night I asked the police to make a note of all unusual vehicles in the area where the broadcasts begin. Amongst them was one of Levante's ice cream vans, not normally in that vicinity.
Wouldn't wait a second look, usually.
But just before the chief inspector arrived on the scene, the same van was asked to move on from near City Wharf.
We checked with Levante's. The van was stolen from outside a salesman's house yesterday afternoon, but he didn't report it till this morning. Craven.
Forensics say it's clean inside and out. No identifiable fingerprints.
I bet it'll be the same with the transmitter. See any prints? There they are, the little beauties. You can't beat the law of averages. I knew they'd have to blow out sooner or later.
Now they have the other transmitter.
So what? Stay loose.
Look, I didn't come into this to have the whole thing ruined playing adolescent games.
You got it all wrong, Scribe.
Ha ha. Listen, Lenin, there are such things as fingerprints.
Yeah, we've seen it all on telly. We wore gloves all the time in the ice cream van.
And what about the fingerprints?
And we cleaned down the whole transmitter.
Look, Irving, you know Stuart's right. They'll never trace us.
I just hope you're right.
Yeah, of course we're right. Anna, any more booze?
I asked Maggie to send some down. I paid her for it.
That's another thing. How much that transmitter cost?
Oh, Irving, do shut up. Money's my worry, right?
It was worth it just for the publicity alone.
I just wish I could have seen their faces.
His lover boy.
Oh, Maggie said you wanted these. Could you move that for me, please? So.
Great, thanks. Would you like one?
Yeah.
We were talking.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll have one for later.
Sure.
Could you,
I said we was talking.
Stuart?
I'm sorry, just trying to be helpful, that's all.
Thanks, Jack. Must you be so boorish?
Where did Maggie find that sponger?
He's a destitute ex-con. Appeals to her sublimated maternal drive.
Her what?
I think that one's Barnes. Hurry up, hurry up. There'll only be mine on that one.
Craven.
Hi, Alan. What's the news on the prints?
Yeah, they were Bars's dabs, all right. They matched those on the transmitter.
So we've got them then?
Oh, well. Did you check the houseboat?
No, not yet. The girl's friendly there.
All right. She's down to you. I'll take Shannon. See ya.
Right.
Hello. I was just passing.
I see. Does Maggie know you're here?
No.
Pretty sure of yourself, aren't you?
Yes. Sometimes.
I think I'd like a drink.
Oh, good afternoon, sir. You're one of the tenants here, Mr.
Yes, Shannon.
Shannon, that's right, yes, sir. Borough Council. We come to see about the home improvements grant.
Yeah, I like it.
Make yourself at home.
Is it yours?
Uh-huh. What can I get you? Whiskey, okay?
Yeah, that's fine, thanks.
What are you looking for?
Looking for?
In life.
Oh.
What's your aim?
Oh, just to, keep one step ahead, I suppose.
I don't own it. I only...
Yeah, well, I won't keep you long, sir. Just doing a bit of preliminary measuring up. There'll be another valuation officer along later.
You going to stay with Maggie?
So, well, it depends.
You're wasting yourself. You could do a lot better.
What's through there?
You're not ready for in there yet.
Ah. And when will I be ready for in there?
As you say, that depends.
Hey, Anna, we got some news. What's going on? What's Idle Jack doing here?
He just looked.
I was just passing.
Oh, shove off.
Oh, shut up, Stuart. If I ask him in
No,
here,
it's
it's
all right.
my
I've
affair.
got to be going anyway.
You don't have to.
Look,
Yeah.
just get out.
Yeah, right, I'm off. I'll see you, Anna.
See you, Jack. You've got a bloody cheek.
What are you playing at? We don't know anything about it. Suppose he found out.
Oh, we've got more important things to think about.
No, I don't mean the houseboat's clean, necessarily, but I'm more interested in the other little boat.
What other little boat?
The cabin cruiser belongs to Barnes. It's got a very unusual mast on it. I reckon it could be an aerial.
Is it fast?
It's fast enough.
Yeah, could be how they do it. Just use the houseboat as a sort of control room, but transmit from this cabin cruiser on the move. That way, every bend in the canal or river screws up our detection gear.
Yeah, and talking to Anna Maslin, her voice brought down a bit. American accent.
Barnes handles the electronics, and Shannon just bashes out the scripts.
Yeah.
He gets all the information from his journalist colleagues. Let's nick him.
No, I don't think that'd be a very good idea just yet. I agree entirely with your findings. Except that these people have no possible kind of access to the sort of information they broadcast. Shannon is a professional, an expert in that cracker. He could have got hold of some of it. The rest, the most authentic stuff, there must be another source, and a very reliable one.
Well, I reckon we've been messing about long enough on this. I agree with Alan. I think we ought to bring him in and lean on him.
We'd show our hand and possibly lose the whole game. You forget that the attack on Sir Alan contained information that didn't show up on our security screen. Now, gentlemen, we're back to essentials. We know that this trio is bent on something extremely unpleasant. And whatever it is, they have the services of a very well-placed informer.
All right, well, let's bring him in on some other charge. That'll stop the broadcast. Then we can dig a bit deeper.
Not just yet. Thank you.
Seen my masters, Mr. Pugh?
Oh, no.
No, it's crazy, Alan. We got the whole thing sewn up and we can't make a move.
If I might suggest...
Yes, in a moment, Mr. Pugh. Well, you can see his reasons, I suppose. He's after a Mr. or a Miss Big, and as usual, the miserable bastard's right. Sorry, Isabel.
Nothing but the best. Still, we're back to square one. The only aim we had was the pub, and I've blown that.
Sir?
And you're sure you can't go back?
I've blown it right out. Barnes told Maggie that I was seeing Anna. You should have heard her after her giving me bed and breakfast.
Hell have no fury.
Well, at least we know that Maggie's in the clear. She just thought she was running a hostel for ex-prisoners. She's all heart, really.
I bet.
We can keep following them, sir.
Yeah, what we need now is a little harassment. Just enough prodding to make them panic.
Perhaps I can help. I think I've found something.
What?
Well, you see, I proceeded from family and friends of the victims to business associations and methods, memberships of private and professional organization, interests, sports, and hobbies.
Yes, well, that's very interesting, Mr. Pugh, but I mean...
No, but you see, I found a link. I would have recognized it sooner if only my information had been complete. Anyway, it seems that most of the victims were receiving or had received, or people closely connected with them had received, psychiatric help, and all from the same person, Mr. Philip Weston.
Weston?
And the interesting thing is, my researchers have shown, that the girl, Anna Maslin, did social work at a hospital in which Mr. Philip Weston was employed, and afterwards, for a while, acted as his receptionist.
It's very kind of you to see me at such short notice.
You were lucky that I had the cancellation. Mr.
Slatner. Jeremy Slatner.
Oh. You say that you were recommended by a patient of mine.
Yes.
Who's that?
Alan. Sir Alan Rees-Wishart.
Sir Alan?
Yes, he looks after me.
In a private capacity?
I'm in his section at the Foreign Office. Or rather, I was, until all these awful disclosures.
I see. Why did Sir Alan suggest that you come and see me?
Well, I've known him well for a number of years. He could see the strain that I was under with all the pressures being put on us, well, and of course the changes.
The changes?
Well, in the whole structure of our department.
What kind of pressures?
I don't really think I ought to talk about those.
Mr. Slatner, if I do not know the nature of these pressures and how they affect your work, I don't see how I can help you.
We were promised an immediate inquiry, a purge of these men from positions of power in the Foreign Office. Instead, they're merely being moved to other sections, given anonymity under code names.
There we have it, gentlemen. Weston seems to be our man. The source of finance and information. However, before an arrest, I'd like to make sure that no bigger fish are involved. I think we ought to see a little more of his hand. What do you suggest, Mr. Craven?
We'll pull in Shannon, keep the others under close surveillance, and see if and how they react. That ought to keep them running scared.
Well, what is all this? You better have some good reason. What are you taking?
Yes, Philip, I know that. Look, we better have a serious talk now.
Sorry about this, Mr. Strand. I thought you'd want to be in at the kill. Weston's gone to the houseboat. Is everything all right? With your auntie, I mean.
The dear old lady enjoys excellent health. Just has to spend a fortnight of the year locked away from the Napoleon brandy, that's all.
What's the score, Isabel?
Well, so far just Anna and Weston, sir. He arrived about half an hour ago. Seemed a bit put out.
Where's Sergeant Green?
He's on the school roof, sir.
Right. Are they covering the Danbury Street exit?
Yeah.
I'll just park round here.
But there is no connection. A drunken rogue like that, they could pick him up for anything.
Stuart's gone to find out. He should be back by now.
Green, watch out for Barnes.
Okay, sir.
Out.
I have a feeling that Weston could be rather tiresome. I'd like a word with him before you formally charge him.
Miss Maslin, I have reason to believe that these premises
Chief
are
Inspector,
being used...
I am conducting a private medical consultation. You please leave.
Yes, we know about your private medical consultations. I think we can regard this as a pretty fair example.
You say you were recommended by a patient of mine.
Yes.
Who was that?
Alan. Sir Alan Rees-Wishart.
Sir Alan. I protest. This is a private conversation with a patient.
Quite the opposite. There's a load of old rubbish, specially made up and told to no one but you.
I don't believe it.
Tom?
He came direct from Rees-Wishart.
Hello. Anna?
Mr. Weston? Not you.
Barnes boat approaching.
Barnes is on his way, sir.
I'd like to take him, please, Anna.
Mr. Weston, this is Mr. Strand, head of a government department which has been watching your extramural activities very closely.
Mr. Weston, I thought it might be useful if we had a little chat before arrangements were formalized.
Mr. Strand? What department?
Well, it's a branch that takes a keen interest, as you do, in some of the activities of our so-called leaders of society. However, My interest is professional. I'm fascinated to know what your motives are. Why did you do it, Mr. Weston?
Disgust. Yeah. My profession sets out to heal minds, bodies. And my first patients were ordinary people, often underprivileged, with mental disturbance. And my work then was very rewarding. And then with my success come the wealthy people, often very influential. But so often these are not sick people. They're just weak, self-indulgent, just wasting my time. It's sickening.
And you thought it was your job to straighten them out? Did you ever think about what harm you did to those people?
And the harm you might do to your profession.
When society is sick, it needs surgery. I decided to share my knowledge with the people so that our country, yes, our country, this Great Britain, could begin to purge itself, examine its so-called leaders more carefully.
Where are you from, Mr. Weston?
This is my country.
So you financed the whole operation?
Out of the fees of my wealthy patients, you will appreciate the irony.
And what about the others? Maslin, Barnes, and Shannon?
Anna was my confidant. She chose the others. They each had their own motives. They thought they were the prophets of some form of alternative society.
So you used them like you used the other people that came to you for help?
Mr. Weston, I appreciate the principles which motivated your recent actions. My chief regret is that your own distinguished position has become somewhat untenable. However, all is not lost. I have a certain amount of influence in the right places.
I don't understand.
I think you will, Mr. Weston. A sojourn abroad would be quite convenient at the moment, would it not? You've offended a large number of people. A government-sponsored medical research fellowship in, say, Australia might protect you from their wrath and add a new dimension to your own career. Miss Maslin might even wish to accompany you.
And in return?
I think we could forget about this whole unfortunate business.
I must talk to Anna.
I'll go and get her.
Hello, Creek.
Hello, Stu.
You come up a bit in the world, ain't you? Well, I thought by now you'd have got it through your thick head. We ain't interested in minor...
I'd like you to call me a creep just once more, Stuart.
No. I am prepared to go into the witness box and prove from my records the truth of everything that I have said. And there is more. I will cause such a crisis of confidence in this country as it has never seen before. I don't think you would risk it.
I don't intend to, Mr. Weston. Frankly, your attitude surprises me. I don't think you're in a position to bargain. Just reflect. Among your patients are some very powerful, perhaps even ruthless people. How do you do, Miss Maslin? If information were to be leaked to them, how long do you think it would be before something unpleasant, perhaps even final, were to happen to you and to Miss Maslin here?
It's all right, Anna. Are you threatening me?
Good heavens, no. Merely pointing out a reality.
I repeat, if you prosecute or report me to the General Medical Council, I will cause a complete crisis of confidence in this country, with the truth.
The transmitter's arrived.
What's going on?
Mr. Barnes, I'm sure you realize the reason for this little informal gathering.
Look, it'll be all right, Stuart. Philip's going to fix it.
Fix what? Make a deal? Sell out all we've worked for to save his own precious bourgeois skin. I warned you, Anna. We shouldn't have trusted him. Lousy bastard. He's crazier than those screwballs he's supposed to treat. No deals, you bastard!
Hold him, Tom!
Come on, man.
Well done, Alan.
You all right?
Yeah.
It's his heart. You're wasting your time. He's got a weak heart.
What a pity.
Oh, well, that's it then. We'll have to add manslaughter to whatever we stick on Barnes.
He's certainly done us and the medical profession a wonderful service.
Yeah.
You don't agree, Craven?
Well, Barnes certainly got you off the hook. Weston was never going to buy that scheme of yours, was he?
No, I don't believe he was. But it was necessary for me to try. Still, there's no need to worry yourself about that now, Chief Inspector. Your people have done a wonderful job, once again. Cheerio. Now I'll find my own way out.
Sweet violets.